It had been months after his accident with Greaseball during the race, which ended up with both competitors badly wrecked. After being found out by Control, CB, the red caboose, had been placed on a flat car on the out-of-use siding near the workshop. While he would be repaired, his ultimate fate was shaky at best. But still, the devious piece of rolling stock didn't feel this was a fate he deserved. He'd done his part to let that stuck-up modern electric engine win, and he'd been ditched. Electra had uncoupled and left him behind, only for Greaseball to collide into him. It was a miracle he'd not been outright killed, something the red caboose had felt he was immune to. Every train wreck he'd caused, Old 97, Cannonball, 4343, Old 5050, he'd always escaped damage since those stupid engines always got the worst of it. They were in the front while he was stuck in the back where it was safe. And not only had he lost, but that twerp Rusty had won the race with that dumb hopper. Control had demanded he apologize after the race, and while he had, he'd not meant it whatsoever.
That little runt. That silly Dustin. I was finally getting some recognition with the only two real engines on this railroad, and they ruined it for me. And Pearl, I can't believe she outed me right there in front of everyone. Why do I bother? You treat coaches with respect and kindness, and they stab you in the back in return.
CB looked around the yard, hoping to hear someone take up his viewpoint, only to see, once more, that no one was around, except for some old flat cars with rotten wooden planks for company. Even Greaseball hadn't spoken to him when he'd been parked there with him a few weeks ago. They'd been laid up in the siding together, growing restless and miserable as hot summer days turned into a rain-soaked autumn. Thunder rumbled overhead as another storm threatened to break. It would soon be night, and the rumble and roar of engines passing in the distance would soon fade away. CB checked his radio again. Switches clicked, dials twisted, but no sound came through the receiver. His namesake radio hadn't worked since the accident, and without gossip to listen to, or a way to project his own frustrations, the red caboose was steadily growing more agitated. And this was all Rusty's fault.
If I ever get on the line again, that twerp had better watch his back.
Eventually, CB drifted off to sleep, his fury sapping him of energy.
Coming up the hill.
CB's eyes flashed open as the radio chatter suddenly belched through his speakers. The sun had set long ago. Now the yard was bathed in blackness, only illuminated by the small outside lights of nearby factories and flashes of lightning overhead. The caboose quickly focused on the source of the noise. It seemed like his radio had begun to work after all.
Hey, who is this?
CB demanded, flipping the switches, trying to clean up the signal. No response came, not even static. Twisting the dials around did not help. There was no whirring, popping, or anything to indicate changing channels. CB huffed angrily. He dreamed it all up. He shut his eyes again, and before he could feel sleep reclaim him...
Brakes, please! Brakes!
CB woke up with a start. That hadn't been a dream. That was actual radio chatter. Maybe his speakers were bugged and his microphone disconnected. At least he could hear what was going on, and it sounded like a runaway was happening.
This'll be fine,
CB said, shaking the sleep from his mind. He didn't want to miss this.
Put the brakes on! More power!
Sorry. Channel 1, Channel 9.
Another voice joined in, but this one was really badly distorted. CB could barely make out the call signs. He twisted his dials around, but the signal remained unchanged, the two radio callers' clarity remaining constant.
Stop playing around! Put your brakes on! Put on the brakes! Stop this train!
Channel 1, please repeat.
Stop the train!
Channel 1, don't yell at me.
CB grinned deviously. It sounded like this caboose was giving this train a real fright. Keeping his hand off the brakes, letting them hurtle down the line, it would be interesting to hear the end results if the lousy locomotive couldn't stop himself.
Control, do you copy?
This is Control. Please identify.
Heavy Freight 97, run away! Thundering down the pass, out of control!
CB blinked. 97? That number sounded familiar. 97, contact caboose for braking. Entering yard limits.
Control, caboose will respond! Clear the lot!
Silence followed for a couple moments. At times, Control's voice broke in, trying to call back. 37, respond. CB's mind still stuck on the number, as Control kept calling out for the locomotive to respond. 37, respond. Then the voice of the caboose came back. Only this time, it was crystal clear. No static or distortion at all in his battered earpieces.
1042, Control! All 97's wrecked! It's a mess! I tried to stop him, but he was too heavy or his own brakes failed. I don't know what went wrong. 1034 to shops! Hurry, please!
CB stared in shock. The caboose's voice was his own. It was filled with concern, but also this clearly detectable air of glee hidden under it. Only he was capable of hearing it. Most listeners would be so concerned with the news they would never notice. His nerves shaken, he quickly snapped the radio off.
That was a dream. I imagined it. Yeah, one of those weird sleepwalking dreams you have while your eyes are wide open. Yeah. That's all.
Taking a breath and slowly letting it out, the broken caboose shuddered, his broken windows losing a few pieces of glass that finally shook loose, his wooden boards groaning. He closed his eyes and tried to drag sleep back to his mind. CB opened a sleepy eye.
I thought I turned it off.
CB said, and he flicked the switch again. This did nothing as the static sound buzzed in his head. It came in hisses and pops.
What's wrong with this stupid thing?
CB felt a cold chill crawl along his torn tar paper roof. This voice was just as clear as his own. It sounded like the engine who had wrecked. That heavy freight.
97?
No response came, but the static in his earpieces continued to fizzle and pop. CB looked around through the yard. The storm overhead rumbled louder. Some drops of rain began to fall, and the wind began to pick up. In a flash of lightning, CB saw something on the rails in front of him. It was there in one flash of lightning, but then gone as the next flash illuminated the yard. He squinted, trying to clear his vision.
Lord, that wreck must have rattled me more than I thought.
CB looked straight, and he saw the object again. As the thunder rumbled, it moved closer towards him, some hazy gray object on his track. As lightning suddenly flashed, the object leaped closer, covering distances it shouldn't have been able to, bringing its form into clarity even in the gloom. It was a big, dark gray locomotive. But as CB looked closer, he realized he could see the rails through the engine's cowcatcher. Smoke lazily rose from its funnel that looked like a dented garbage can. Sickly white light came from the headlamp on top of the boiler, its lens shattered and hanging at a slight angle so as to show the chipped numbers on it. 97. CB's mouth went dry as he saw the engine's face. It was covered in soot, Wet trails ran down the broken cheeks from the eyes, which were simply deep black pits as if it had been crying. Its eyebrows furrowed in a sad frown, and where a mouth should have been was featureless, bare metal. CB really wished he was on the ground so he could let his brakes off and allow himself to coast away as this ghostly engine glided forwards. Soon its busted knuckle coupler made contact with the flat car he was on, making it shudder. The engine stood before him, staring at him with those empty black pits. CB shuddered, loose boards on his frames clunking together and his suspension springs creaking. When the engine spoke, it was through his headset. The ghostly engine roughly shunted into the flat car, and CB felt the unmistakable motion of rolling backwards, very rapidly. The squealing of the brakes on the rusty rails as the brakes tried to keep the flat car stationary. Pitch black smoke and fire leapt from the ghostly locomotive's funnel. His broken headlamp turned from sickly white to blood red, and bright white pupils appeared where once a deep, dark pit had been.
Wait! 97! We can talk!
CB felt his flat car smash back into the buffer stop hard, making all the remaining bits of broken glass in his windows fall out. The ghostly locomotive's face was frozen in fury.
1077. Criminal. Murderer!
CB felt the flat car under him shuddering, groaning, beginning to bend. Sooner or later, something was going to give. A crack from behind made it clear it wouldn't be long now, as a weld on the buffers broke.
Wait! Please! I'm sorry, okay? I shouldn't have done what I did! Please!
Killer!
The flat car shifted under CB, beginning to tilt to the side. The wrecked caboose shifted his weight a little from one spring to the other, but this didn't help matters as he felt gravity tugging on his top-heavy form to pull him over. His eyes darted to see a line of old rusty wheels sitting on the ground. They were sat up on their sides, their axle tips sticking up like spikes. A tumble onto them, and that would be it.
Help me! Someone help me! I'm sorry, please!
CB cried, all traces of his devious, sneaky personality shattering. 97 kept pushing, fire now leaping out of his funnel. His eyes glowed as bright as his lamp as his face disappeared into a black, shapeless mass. CB felt the wooden floor of the flat car cracking and splintering under him, his body shifting and sinking to the left so noticeable to make him tense up. He swayed to the side, then slowly moved back a little.
I'm sorry! I won't do it again! Please don't kill me! I'm sorry!
But it was no good as 97 gave another mighty shove. CB felt the buffer stop break loose. The floor gave way. With no support, CB's wooden body began to free fall down towards the ground, towards the wheels. CB screamed in complete and utter terror, the voice of 97 shrieking in his head.
Die!
CB felt the wheels crunch right through his broken wooden walls, his metal frame jackknifed in the middle, and his radio disintegrated. He screamed louder than he'd ever thought he could manage, so loud he felt his voice begin to squeak.
CB!
CB woke with a start as a voice broke through his screaming, and he felt a sudden backwards motion that shouldn't be possible. His eyes opened, and immediately the gray light of dawn rushed in. It was morning now. Thunder rumbled overhead, and a gentle rain fell upon him. His bleary eyes saw the form of an engine, and immediately he shut them tight.
Please don't kill me! I'm sorry! I won't do it again!
CB, it's me, Rusty.
The voice drew CB to open his eyes again, slowly and cautiously. In front of him was the little engine, his once filthy paint clean and bright, not a speck of rust on him now. He looked up at the trembling caboose with a look of concern, but it was a mask of concern that he felt wouldn't last long.
Rusty!
He croaked, his voice strained from the screaming.
Yes, I was just coming to move you to the workshop and you began to scream. What's going on?
CB looked around. He was still on the flat car, a broken mess of a caboose, but a living caboose. He coughed a bit as the pain of straining his vocal cords hit his waking mind. Rusty sniffed.
Well, you don't need to tell me about it. The sooner I'm away from you, the better.
Puffing hard, the small engine pulled the flat car out of the siding. Its wheels rolled on the rusty tracks, squeaking and creaking. As they rolled along, CB thought he saw something on the other track where the flat cars were. Flashes of engines' tenders, their numbers coated in rust and soot, dented and broken. But each time he tried to focus on them, the sight vanished. 97, 98, 99, 340, 582. He closed his eyes, gulping.
They're waiting for me.
What?
Nothing.
Soon, CB was rolled into the warm workshop, free from the rain that trickled down his sides and through the holes in his roof and onto his destroyed radio. Rusty was uncoupled, and as he began to puff away, CB called out.
Rusty,
What?
I'm sorry. Really, truly sorry. It was wrong to say you were no engine. I know you'll take good care of Pearl. You deserve her. More than Greaseball deserves her or Dinah. And more than me. Look at me. I'm just a broken caboose, and you're a strong steamer.
Rusty looked up at CB curiously. He'd not spoken to the rotten rolling stock since the race. And when he cast glances at him in the siding, all he got was dirty looks. What had brought this change about? He was going to ask when Control's voice boomed out on a loudspeaker at the station.
The local will be departing in 5 minutes. 5 minutes to departure.
Rusty looked back at the sad old caboose and sighed heavily.
I'll see you around, CB. Hope you're repaired soon.
The caboose said nothing as Rusty puffed away. He just stared at his couplings as the thunder rumbled outside, and the rain pattered down on the old tin roof overhead.